The Ford Bronco is back, and it's spoiling for a time when Jeeps and Broncos used to go at it in the mud and the rocks and the blood and the beer. Here's what we've learned, and here's what's coming to showrooms. My first reaction after watching the Ford intro video was, I didn't know so many Americans wanted to get their kidneys bruised and their fillings knocked out. They've really got this America back to the wild thing going on.
A family of vehicles that are all built wild.
Well, at least I'm glad you're not just taking all four wheels driven to get to Whole Foods or the Fashion Mall. Okay, now as you can tell, the new Bronco harkens back to the original Bronco, Generation 1, not back to the big white Bronco of O.J. Simpson low-speed chase fame. And that's a good thing. The original Bronco was a stubby little guy, so the two-door Bronco is the most accurately retro in that respect. There's also a four-door Bronco, same vehicle but stretched about 16 inches to allow for the four doors, additional room in the back, and to really make it a more capacious vehicle. My hunch is that's going to be the big leader on sales between the two because it maps most accurately to Jeep Wrangler, which is clearly where the grudge match lies. And whether you get the two-door or the four-door, they both ride on a platform derived from the new Ford Ranger that just came back for 2020. Now, these new two- and four-door Broncos both can lose their doors, can lose the top, can have other doors put on that have big holes in them. I don't really understand that, but maybe Emmy Hall can explain that to me one day. Must be an off-road thing. All of this is part of an option strategy that will have up to 150 factory options available on these two- and four-door Broncos. That's something that's going to be almost approaching a Porsche level of customization. And you know, there's also some nice profit in there. But of course, the aftermarket for this kind of vehicle is going to be extremely vibrant as well. Now, one thing you won't find on the option sheet is a big displacement engine, like a V8. All they've got going on are compact turbocharged EcoBoost units. A 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4 is the base engine. You can also option up a 2.7-liter, 400 foot-pound V6 EcoBoost. That one's only available with a 10-speed automatic. If you want that 7-speed manual you've heard Bronco will have, you need to opt for the smaller engine. Now inside, Ford has tried to continue the retro theme as much as you can in this high-tech era. They've pretty accurately replicated the old flat steel dashboard of the early Broncos that make modern safety regulators faint. You can option up that giant 12-inch LCD with Ford Sync. Everything else is pretty chunky and padded and electronic. Now when you think you're just starting to get your head wrapped around the Bronco variations, here comes the curveball. There's another one, the Bronco Sport, which has almost nothing to do with the two Broncos I've been telling you about. This one is based on the Ford Escape platform, the new Escape, and it's much more of a compact urban crossover with a unibody, not a body on frame like the other two we've been talking about. But to its credit, it's only available as a 4x4. There's not some cop-out front-wheel drive version. The small engine is small, a 1.5-liter 3, or you can bump up to a 2-liter 4. Okay, that Bronco Sport's actually first out of the chute. That one hits the market in 2020, this year. The other Broncos, the big Broncos as they call them, 2- and 4-door, those don't arrive until 2021. Now with all of Ford's revamping, you gotta understand there's a reason behind this. There is no time to waste. Ford killed off virtually all their cars recently, right? The Mustang is sort of the last one left. As a result, they've got to make a really compelling line of trucks and crossovers and SUVs, so Bronco is a really big deal for them. And with all the changes they've had with the new Ranger, the upcoming Mach-E electric crossover, and the refreshed F-150, you gotta wonder, are they sad they already used years ago their tagline, "Have you driven a Ford lately?"
Have you driven a Ford lately? Oh yeah, yeah. Have you driven a Ford lately?
If you want to know how the new Bronco really compares to the Wrangler, or how the new Bronco compares to the original Bronco, we looked into that as well, what the prices are on all these Broncos, head over to the Roadshow YouTube channel or CNET's Roadshow at theroadshow.com.